Welcome to Keep What You Earn, your judgment and jargon-free zone for entrepreneurs of all levels. Get ready to learn how to scale your business, save money in taxes, and create a business that grows your wealth. If it feels like the financial side of business is like eating your vegetables, well, then think of this podcast as the ranch dressing to make the process a little more enjoyable. My name is Shannon Weinstein. I'm a CPA and business owner on a mission to simplify money and empower others through knowledge. I hope this episode inspires you to take action, but remember that the information we share is for educational purposes only and is not individual tax advice. Now that we got that out of the way, let's start the show. Hey, welcome back to the show. Today, I'm sharing with you an episode that I did on another podcast because I love sharing more of my story and unique perspectives based on questions that hosts ask me. I hope you enjoy this episode and can dive deeper into learning from this podcast and from others. Check the link in the show notes for more information on this host, their episode, and where you can find the full content.
So let's break another myth. All you need is a tax person once a year. Let's talk about this.
Oh, yeah. The April 15th one night stand. Yeah. Spoiler, accountants don't like the you up text on April 14th, guys. I've gotten one too many of those before. No, seriously, I went through a phase, and I think we all do. I actually called it my tax hoe phase because like you can actually go through this like this yes to everyone, I will do your taxes.
Shannon, I'm so excited to have you on the show. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, of course. I'm excited to be here, Lori, and talk to you.
Oh my God, you guys, today is going to be such a great, empowering day for you and your business, because I don't care what your background is. I'm pretty sure that we all want more money, want to make more money, and want to keep more of our money. And the only way to do that is to work with and listen to experts. So today we have an expert on, Shannon, who has just helped so many of the people that we know as well. You have an incredible podcast called Keep What You Earn. I love that title. And you're doing like 5 episodes a week now?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's honestly my favorite part of my business now.
Oh my God. Like, why do you think that is?
I'm a verbal processor. I do much better talking through stuff, but it's also like my tone and my like sense of humor comes across on the platform because most accountants are not funny or have a personality. So it's actually really fun to not just have to have the words speak, but to actually add tonality and humor and other things into it and infuse that and have people listen to the way I would explain it and teach it. So it's my favorite way to deliver content.
Okay, I love this. So why don't we start by telling everybody exactly what it is that you do?
So, I mean, obviously I help entrepreneurs keep more of what they earn, grow their business. And how I do that is I'm a fractional CFO and tax strategist working with entrepreneurs. And I also have a complete arm of my business on education to make financial education more accessible to early stage entrepreneurs. And that's honestly one of the most favorite things I do because I'm totally a teacher at heart.
Okay. So, the idea of a fractional CFO was new to me, and I use a fractional CFO and I absolutely love it. And I know that you are freaking epic as well. And I have friends who use you as well, but let's explain that concept around what that is even. Cause some people, I still don't think people know what it is. And I can't honestly say I would have known what it was either if I didn't ask.
And I don't think most accountants know what it is. Some people self-identify as a fractional CFO. Someone says, what is that? And we go, I do stuff. I don't know. So here's how I explain it. So a fractional CFO is somebody who you consider on your board of directors at the table, someone who is an influence in your business from a financial perspective, can look at things through a financial lens and advise you. So if you look around the room, if the people you surround yourself in this kind of boardroom of your business, you want to have somebody who is a financial expert. So that is the seat that I would fill. And it basically includes high level overview of looking at the data and figuring out how to turn that into decisions. So it's more of the strategic oversight of your business finances. Yes, it can include the tactical, the bookkeeping, the accounting, the reporting, and those types of deliverables. But the real deliverable is in strategy. And frankly, a lot of mindset and coaching, which I think goes unnoticed in that profession, is I've turned into a business life coach sometimes when it comes to money and finances.
I can definitely say that was the most surprising and delightful part of hiring a fractional CFO sooner than I actually thought that I needed one. And it has been how involved you guys are in the process. Like, it's honestly, I don't think people can afford to wait to do it, truly, especially if you really have hopes of scaling your business quickly. I think it's one of the quickest things you can do. Let's start. I think I want to start there because people listening to this might be like, well, I'm not ready for that, or I'm not a numbers person. Like, when do I, it's almost intimidating sometimes if you're in the beginning, or even if you're in the first couple of years, to be like, well, now I'm almost embarrassed about my numbers because I don't know them. Like, there's so many things that stop people. So tell me about why hiring someone, like when should we hire someone, and why hiring someone is so powerful towards the beginning?
100%. I'm going to share a quick story with you about someone who hired me and lied to me on their form. So it was really funny.
You're not going to find, I love this.
They submitted the form on my website, and they knew that on my website, it says, it's ideal for business owners making $750K and above. Cause I realized that this is when people can theoretically, quote unquote, afford it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So she had not even made her first 100K yet, but she wrote what her aspiration was on the form. And I took the call, and I knew this person through a friend of a friend. Right. And she took the call and she said, I'm going to hire you. And I needed you to take this call because I just started my business and I want to be a $500,000. I want to be $1 million business. And I want the advice that is in the ears of 500K business owners right now.
Wow.
And I was like, that is epic mindset. Like, wow. So she said, I hired a business coach, a fractional CFO, and a lawyer. And I am just going all in. I'm prepaid all of them for a year. And I said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to commit, and I'm going to have the advice in my ears that people that are higher level than me are getting. And I was like, whoo, wow. Okay. I support this. And I've been working with her for a year now, and it's been amazing. And to answer your question, Lori, I think, how do you know you're ready, right? Like for her, she was ready, and it was a mindset thing. There wasn't a dollar sign. It was when you are ready. So for me, it's when you want to make it a priority, and that is up to you. And that is up to where you see your business. But on a more tactical level, I would say you want to have an offer that's proven. Like, I have an audit offer I'm monetizing. It's doing well. I just feel like I need to unlock a next level. I feel like I've exhausted a lot of things I know how to do, and I need someone to tell me what I don't know. I need somebody to reveal to me what I'm not seeing, cover my blind spots. Maybe I'm wasting a lot of money in certain types of costs and I don't see it. Or maybe I'm not prioritizing my time effectively, and that's costing me money. Like, it's not just about the money. It's about all the things that contribute to your financial performance, and how do we actually diagnose and treat what's happening in your business. And I think that as soon as you know you want to grow and scale, and that's your goal, that's when you have to start entertaining the idea of, who can I get on board that will advise me on the number side, so I can make sure I'm measuring my success and my progress.
I love this too, because in the beginning, a lot of times, maybe we don't have a lot of team members around us. And I really love how you can act a bit as a confidant, as a team member, as someone to process with, as someone as well. What is really cool about the fractional part is that you're also in other amazing businesses. Like, you're learning about what they're doing simultaneously to also helping them. And that's what I find about the fractional part to be so cool, is that it's not just that this person is working with you. I find it to be a superpower strength that they are also in other businesses, because you get to take, like, hey, this is working over here, or we found this shortcut, or we found this awesome way to save money. And, we think that it could cross over into what you're doing. And so you're really getting like the best of, it's a little bit like having a little bit of a business mastermind without having it, when you hire different fractional people, is what my experience has been.
Yeah. You have an accidental spy.
So true. It's so true. And it's funny because you can share those secrets without sharing about people's businesses. Like, you can know what's helping people and know that this could be, that this could work over here, without having to reveal, well, this person's business is doing this or that. Like, you can be able to share some trade secrets without sharing about those people's businesses, which is so awesome.
Exactly.
So there's a myth that it is literally going to cost you an arm and a leg to get really good help. So can you tell me, like, somebody right now is listening and they're like, that's it, I've got that mindset, I totally feel abundant, I want to work with you, I know that, I'm going to be able to scale, but
but the invoice comes.
Yes, that's literally the voice that always comes in no matter what. Right. So what does it even look like to a business to work with someone like you?
Yeah, it varies so greatly. And I think that one thing that people always assume, especially when you're a newer entrepreneur, if you're in your first couple of years, you think, oh, hiring an accountant, that is out of my reach. That is for the future. I'll do that when I make money. I'll do that when I insert milestone here. Right. And it's this chicken and the egg thing where I'm like, well, how are you going to get there if you don't know how to measure what you're doing? Right. So it's this back and forth, but there is an easier way. So number one, for the first couple of years, at least you have to have a really good bookkeeper, because you have to have really good data. Otherwise, if you want to make that data into decisions, you're not going to have good data. Therefore, the CFO is not going to be much use to you. And we're not going to have really good decisions out of that. So the foundation is always really good bookkeeping. So you're hiring a professional, getting somebody in your corner as soon as possible. Like you said, Lori, like you want to have somebody as soon as possible building a relationship with you, understanding your business, understanding the direction you're going in, your mission, your values, the things that make you you. And then it makes their job so much easier as you get bigger and as you grow, that they can grow with you and they're already in the rhythm. They know exactly what you're doing. And then you can layer that. People they think I'm going to hire a fractional CFO from day one, and that's going to cost me an arm and a leg. It doesn't have to. You can just layer it with a bookkeeper. Maybe it's a bookkeeper reviewing your stuff quarterly. Maybe it's you doing it yourself with a little bit of training, and they look at it quarterly. Then they start looking at it monthly. Then, you add a tax pro on top of that to advise you, because now you have tax situations to, control, and you have to strategize and, minimize your taxes. Then it's, okay, I'm ready to grow. I've got the infrastructure. I've got the elements here. I'm ready to grow and scale. What people think is, oh, I'm not ready to do all that yet, but you can start smaller and you can grow into it.
Okay. And there's so many, I feel like we should touch on just a couple more things that I feel like you guys really do well. Do you also help? Let's say someone hires you and they're like, hey, I don't even know where to start with my numbers. Like, I don't even know what a normal goal would be. Like,
right.
do you help people kind of lay that whole foundation of, okay, well, what would feel reasonable? Like, can you kind of tell me what that all looks like when you're first getting set up? If they're like, look, I'm actually intimidated by the thought of hiring you because I wouldn't even know what to tell you my first goal is, or based off of what we're doing. Let's talk about that.
That's my favorite. I actually just got off a call for 90 minutes with a goals discussion, because we're into the end of 2022. And my favorite part of the year is goal setting for the new year, because it gets the entrepreneurs to ideate and to sit in there like, okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to accomplish. And one of the things I challenge people on, and this is fun, is I say, what's your goal? And they're like, 2 million in revenue. I'm like, why? And they're I don't know. I just feel like I should be able to say that. Like, I just want to be able to say I made that. And I go, no. What's the goal? Right? That might be the metric, but what's the goal? And they're like, oh, and we really unpack it. And what we really unpacked was, I want to spend more time with my kids. Okay. That's the goal. So how can we measure progress towards that? And then what has to happen for that needle to move? And then what has to happen until we get to the 5 whys? And then we finally get into, how much revenue do you have to make in order to accomplish this, in order to be able to do this? And when you can connect a real life goal that you can see, feel, and touch with a financial goal, that it becomes way more powerful than the vanity metric of, I just want to say I have a 7-figure business. And I'm like, well, then if you don't achieve that, you're not going to be heartbroken. Nothing's going to change about your life. You're going to go, we'll try again next year. What is something where you have stakes? What is something where it matters to you? And let's quantify that and measure that in terms of, what can you do on a day-to-day basis? And what can we turn dollar signs into about that will connect this goal? Because that's what it's about, is helping the entrepreneur reach their goals. But people don't realize that the goals I'm talking about are spending more time with their kids, or being able to volunteer more, being able to donate X% to charity. These are the types of goals that we're talking about, and we're actually planning out in forecasts. One of the best decisions I made in business that saved me countless headaches was getting expert advice in HR as I started growing my team. With so many compliance requirements, especially for virtual businesses, I could never get caught up on everything I needed to learn or I was supposed to do. That's where Jackie and her team at People Principles came in with their signature HR audit for only $349. But get this, if you use code Shannon50, you get $50 off of that. So it's only $300. You'll have peace of mind by the end of the week with this exclusive offer as a Keep What You Earn listener. Here's what's included: a step-by-step self-assessment, a 60-minute strategy session with their HR experts to ensure that you're in compliance and you have a plan for getting on track, an HR template to keep all this important stuff in one place, and a roadmap of the top 3 best practices to implement right now in the next 6 to 12 months. Again, use code Shannon50 to take $50 off of this assessment. Do not miss out on this opportunity or let unintentional HR mistakes derail your business growth. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating and review on your podcast platform. This small action goes a long way for podcasters to get our message heard by more business owners just like you. Be sure to check out the show notes for links to information about our guests and ways to get in touch with me. We'll see you on the next episode.